Okay, good morning, students.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good
Yes,
morning, ma'am.
good morning, good morning. So we are back with our class. Okay, fine. Who was taking your previous class?
Ma'am, Ankita, ma'am.
Ankita ma'am. Okay, fine, fine, fine. Okay, so today this is OE 506A. Fine, and we have, as per the syllabus, we are very streamlined. We'll be very much focused on the syllabus, and that we have covered unit 1, we have covered unit 2, and we have begun unit 3, and we have to carry forward with unit 3 today. That is attitudes. Clear? uh, okay, is somebody recording? Very good, very good. I think today there won't be that commotion. And you can, yes, yeah. But the YouTube, the framing had been done so wonderfully. Thank you so much. Great, 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 great. Fine, 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 fine. So personality and attitude, they go side by side, right? Now, personality. The term attitude and personality, it is derived from persona, meaning, persona, 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 which means a mask. Literally, persona means a mask. Personality is a patterned body of habits, traits, attitudes, ideas of an individual, as these are organized externally into roles and statuses, and they relate internally to motivation, goals, and various aspects of selfhood. Understood? This is what the meaning of attitude is all about. Personality and attitude, they go side by side. Now, Sigmund Freud, I think all of you are very familiar with the term Freud, a very famous and renowned psychologist. Clear? Even when we were in our masters and when we were in our honors, we were taught the Freudian theories, the Freudian theory, the Freudian psychology. Clear? So Sigmund Freud, Freud, has defined attitude and personality as individuals' unique thoughts, feelings, and behavior that persist over time and different situations. Clear? So this is all about what personality is and what attitude is. Now, on the basis of these, what Sigmund Freud has stated, now Ralph Linton, another famous psychologist, he says that personality embraces the total organized aggregate of psychological processes and status pertaining to the individual. Clear? So based on all these definitions and the quotations of the eminent psychologists, we have approaches to the study of personality and attitude. They are the psychological aspect and the sociological aspect. These are the broad categories: the psychological aspect and the sociological aspect. Clear? So these things you have to remember. Now, psychological approach considers personality and attitude as a certain style peculiar to the individual. This style is determined by the characteristic organization of mental trends, complexes, emotions, and sentiments. The psychological approach enables us to understand the phenomena of personality disorganization and the roles of wishes, of mental conflict, and of repression and sublimation in the growth of personality. Now, this is all about the psychological aspect of attitude. Now, the sociological approach. The sociological approach, 1 minute. Now, the sociological approach. The sociological approach is actually, from the socialistic standpoint, the sociological approach considers personality in terms of the status of the individual in the group, in terms of his conception, in terms of his conception of his role in the group of which he is a member. What others think of us, a large part in the formation of our person, what others think of us also plays a very eminent and a vital role in the formation of our personality. This is a very common thing, students, that we all share. What others are thinking of us. This is a very thing. So, and we form our personality on that basis. Suppose, for example, whenever we have to attend any party, obviously we don't get decked up in the normal attire. We try to wear party dresses. Why? It's once again attitude and personality that enables us to do that. You get my point? So obviously what others will think, that plays a very important role in shaping and framing our personality and our attitude.
We get the output what others will look means at us and feel so good about.
Yes, obviously. Thus, personality is a sum of ideas, attitudes, and values of a person which determine his role in the society and form an integral part of his character. Clear? I think till here it is clear. Personality is acquired by the individual as a result of his participation in group life. Now, if that's what I was saying. Personality is actually acquired by the individual as a result of his participation in group life. If he remains in isolation, his personality cannot be enhanced and cannot be focused and understood by the others. It only grows and germinates in the light of the other people, in the light of company, in the light of a group. As a member of the group, he learns certain behavioral patterns and systems and symbolic skills which determine his ideas, attitudes, and social values. These ideas, attitudes, and values which an individual holds comprises of his entire attitude. Clear? So, in brief, the following features of attitude can be listed. Attitude is number one. Attitude is not related to bodily structure alone. It includes both structure and dynamics. Clear? Personality or attitude is an indivisible unit. You cannot divide it. It's an indivisible unit. Personality is neither good nor bad. You cannot say that this personality is bad, because it reminds me of, students, George Bernard Shaw's quotation and line when in one of his eminent problem plays, that the name of the play was Major Barbara. Okay, and it was a part of our syllabus at honors. Major Barbara. One man's meat is another man's poison. For us, it may be delicious. Meat means something very delicious, but that meat proves to be very fatal for the other person who cannot have the potentiality to digest that. So one man's meat is another man's poison. Clear? So personality, you can never say that this individual has a very good personality or a bad personality. It is a very relevant thing. Understood? Every personality is unique. Every attitude is unique. Attitude refers to persistent qualities of the individual. It expresses consistency and regularity. Attitude is acquired. Personality is influenced by social interaction. It is defined in terms of behavior. Did you get till here? All of you? Was I clear? Was I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Fine, great. Till here you have understood. Okay, now we will be learning the determinants of attitudes. What are the determinants or the elements, elemental factors? Okay, like we have done conflict management. So you remember I made you do the conflict management part. And I think all of you have understood also this conflict management, and we will go into more details later on. But we have done that. That is a very important part of your professional career. Conflict management, leadership, organizational politics. Everywhere organization cannot be devoid of politics. So organizational politics, what is it also has its own definition. Organizational politics also has its own characteristic features. The sources of politics and political behavior, factors influencing political behavior, use of organizational politics. Now, your organizational politics is always not negative. It also has some positive aspect as well. Managing the political behavior, techniques of political behavior, very essential part. We will all do it in this paper. And this paper will really cater to your future needs, I'm sure. Motivation, perception, and its influence in decision-making process, group behavior, communication process. So I said, you remember on the very first class, the introductory class of this, that communication is just a part of the soft skill. All motivation, perception, and its influence in decision-making process, group behavior, group decision-making, all these, then organizational climate, organizational politics, they are all part of the entire soft skills. Understood. That's what I was. This is a very interesting paper if you do it. I mean, if you are very attentive with it. Okay. Wait. Fine. So till here it is clear, all of you. We can proceed. Fine. Okay. Now, fine. Now fine. We have characteristics of attitudes. Now, what are the characteristics of attitudes? Very interesting thing, these things. Now, definitions of attitudes allows one's evaluation of an attitude object to vary from extremely negative to extremely positive. Clear? Oh God, it got delinked. No, fine. Now, we have, 1 minute. We have types and categories of attitudes. We have the types and categories of attitudes. Now, in the broader sense of the word, there are only 3 attitudes. They are in broader sense. I'm not talking about the thread line divisions. Understood? Not the hairline divisions or the thread line divisions. In broader sense, in a bigger sense. In a broader sense, the attitude, we have 3 types of attitudes: positive attitude, a negative attitude, and a neutral attitude. There are certain characters who are very neutral, who are neither positive nor negative, a neutral character. So in a broader sense, I said that hairline divisions, you have ample of it. But in a broader sense, you have a positive attitude, negative attitude, and a neutral attitude. What is positive attitude? Positive attitude is the one which concerns on the positive outcome of the task or problem in hand, and negative attitude is the one which concerns on the negative outcome of the task or problem in hand. But in general sense, an attitude is what is expressed through. Clear? Now, given below is a list of attitudes that are expressed by people and are more than personality traits. So acceptance, confidence, seriousness, optimism, pessimism, interest, independent, jealous, courteous, cooperative, considerate, gratitude. These are all mixture of both positive, negative, and your neutral attitudes, like being modest, tolerant, kind, humble, cautious. Clear? These are some of the attitude, students. I have categorized this while giving you lecture here in this class today, so that you may not get confused with personality traits. Understood? Now, personality traits or attitudes are more rigid and permanent, whereas, attitudes may change with different situations and experiences in life. This is little bit. Personality traits are sometimes very rigid. There are certain personalities who are very rigid, who will never change under all circumstances. But attitudes, they keep on changing. Understood? They may change, they may not change, but there are possibilities of changing with different situations and experiences in life. Personality traits are what humans are endowed with, whereas attitudes are learned and acquired. Very important thing, difference in personality and attitude. Personality is something you're endowed with, you can hardly modify and change, but attitudes are learned and acquired through experience. Clear? In simple words, you can say attitudes are judgments or conclusions that we draw about certain phenomena in life, including our own self. Clear? Understood till here? Students?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Fine. And I think I'm clearly audible to all of you. I'm reaching all of you clearly.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
It's
ma'am.
perfect.
Fine, fine. That's good. That's good. Okay. Now, yes. Okay. Now, we will be doing today components of attitude. Attitude has three broad components. Understood? Affective component, AFFECTIVE, affective component, cognitive component, and intentional component. Once again, I repeat, attitude has three components: affective component, cognitive component, and intentional component. A person's attitude comprises of three components: affective, cognitive, and intentional, that is overt. The affective or feeling component refers to the emotions associated with an attitude object. It basically consists of feeling of a person, okay? The feeling part. Clear? Consists of the feeling of a person has towards an attitude object. The cognitive component represents the beliefs of a person about an attitude object. And the cognitive component is very important and consists of the individual's perceptions, beliefs, and ideas about an object. Now, the overt, 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 or the intentional component, or the overt, OVERT, overt component or the intentional component, that is the third component, is concerned with the way one intends to behave towards a particular attitude object. Both the affective and cognitive components, feeling and beliefs, influence the way a person intends to behave towards an attitude object. An attitude has three separate but related parts. Very important. Did you understand, students? Clear? How the three are correlated, interconnected, and interwoven with each other? How they are interconnected? The affective component of an attitude reflects feelings and emotions that an individual has towards a situation. The cognitive component of an attitude is derived from knowledge, cognition, knowledge that an individual has about a situation. Finally, the intentional or the overt component of an attitude reflects how an individual expects to behave towards or in the situation. Clear? For example, the different components of an attitude held towards a firm which supplies interior products that too irregularly could be described as follows. For example, I'm giving a case study which will help you to understand and remember the three components of attitude, that is the affective component, cognitive component, and the intentional or the overt component. Now, I don't like that company, within double inverted comma, within quotes. This is affective component. You're getting affected. I don't like that company. The second one, they are the worst supply firm I have ever dealt with. Cognitive. You are applying your cognition, your knowledge in understanding the whether the quality of supply and whether the quality of the product that is being supplied is good or not. They are the worst supply firm I have ever dealt with. Cognitive component of the attitude is being expressed here. The third one, I will never do business with them again. Intentional component or the overt part. You are intentionally you're saying it is not that you have to do business or you have to express this feeling that you can even remain quiet, you can remain silent, you can be a kind of catalyst, but intentionally you're using. So I will never do business with them again. Intentional component. People, the balanced characters, people with balanced attitudes, try to maintain consistency among the three components of their attitudes. However, conflicting circumstances often rise. The conflict that individuals may experience among their own attitudes is called cognitive dissonance. Cognitive dissonance, Dissonance. How the person wants to behave and what the person says about his behavior towards the object. It is not always the same as the behavior observed following the expression of the attitude. So you understood the components of attitude, students? Students?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand clearly the three components of attitude? Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Shall I proceed to attitude formation and change?
Yeah, ma'am, you can proceed.
I can proceed, fine. Now, attitude formation and change. A person's beliefs about an object and the amount and type of information the person has about the object both contribute to the formation of an about the object. If a person has positive beliefs about the object, the person forms a positive attitude about it. If the person believes the object had negative attitudes, the emerging attitude will be negative. Individual attitudes are formed over time as a result of repeated personal experience with ideas, situations, or people. One of the very important ways to understand the individual behavior in an organization is that of studying attitude, which is situationally specific and learned. An attitude may change as a result of new information. A manager may have a negative attitude about a new employee because of his lack of job-related experience. After working with a new person, a manager may come to realize that he is actually very talented and subsequently may develop a more positive attitude towards him. Attitudes can be changed through persuasion, and an important domain of research on attitude change focuses on responses to communication. Experimental research into the factors that can affect the persuasiveness of a message. Understood? So this was all about attitude formation and change. Okay? Now, this part is very important. That is 5 attitudes that are important in a workplace, in a professional organization. Clear? What are they? Number 1, respectfulness. Clear? Respect is a very important attitude in the workplace and doesn't solely extend to the way in which employees interact with management. Employees should also have a respectful attitude when interacting with clients and customers as well as co-workers. Employees with this type of attitude are willing to treat other people politely and professionally, even if they disagree with the other person's point of view. Understood? This was the first first step towards the five attitudes that you have to follow. Respectfulness. Second is pridefulness. Third, first let me tell you the five, then I'll take each and every one. I'll take one by one, and I'm going to discuss in details. One is the respectfulness. Second is the pridefulness. Third is the commitment. Fourth is innovation. Fifth is helpfulness. Clear? Now, respectfulness I have already dealt with you. Pridefulness. What is pridefulness? It might seem as if prideful is a good attitude to have in the workplace, but most employees who have a prideful attitude about their work tend to work harder to excel. A prideful attitude doesn't mean that an employee won't accept help or work in terms. It simply means that the outcomes of tasks the employees does and how they contribute to the company matter a great deal to them. Understood? Pridefulness doesn't mean here, it is not used in a negative sense, students. It is used in a positive sense. Prideful means you are being very enthusiastic, you are being very much positive, optimistic attitude towards work. That is here what pridefulness is all about. It's not being proud. It's not an employee being just proud and arrogant and interacting in a very arrogant manner with his peers and with his higher authorities and subordinates. No. Pridefulness is working with a zeal, Z-E-A-L, zeal, working with with an air of, you can say, motivation. That yes, I have to keep the banner of the company flying very high in the sky. And I want to see the progression and reach the ladder of success. This is what pridefulness has been used in a positive sense. So pridefulness is also one of the most essential attitude that an employee has to follow in workplace. Third is commitment. A committed attitude is a valued one in the workplace. Small businesses need employees who are not only committed to the goals and initiatives that affect the bottom line, but also are committed to their particular positions. Employees project a committed attitude by showing willingness to do whatever it takes to fulfill the duties of their positions. Understood? And via the development of new ideas to make the company even better. This is all about commitment attitude. The fourth one, innovation. Employees with an innovative attitude don't shy away from trying something new or finding a different way to do things. Small businesses need employees who can think outside of the box, outbox thinking. You remember last day we have done out of box thinking, lateral thinking. In my class, yes, we have done the unit 2. In the unit 2, we had out of box thinking and lateral thinking. So here, innovation. So obviously, innovation is something which will allow an employee for an out of box or a lateral thinking and innovative thinking. Out of box thinking means innovative thinking, novel thinking, where you give a space for novelties, something innovation, executing research on the basis of trial and error. Understood? Now, lastly but not the least, helpfulness. Helpfulness is one of the essential attitudes in a workplace. It is important to have a helpful attitude or at work, whether the means assisting clients and customers with their needs or helping co-workers accomplish overall company goals. The more helpful an attitude employees have, the more people want to be around them at work and more willing they are to partner with those employees on key projects and initiatives. So these were the 5 attitudes that are important in a workplace. Now, another part, organizational commitment and involvement. 2 other important work-related attitudes are organizational commitment and involvement. Organizational commitment is the individual's feeling of identification, identification with and attachment to an organization. Involvement refers to a person's willingness to be a team member and work beyond the usual standards of the job. An employee with little involvement is motivated by extrinsic motivational factor, and an employee with strong involvement is motivated by intrinsic motivational factors. There are a number of factors that lead to commitment and involvement. Both may increase with an employee's age and years with the organization. That is, with the experience, with a sense of job security, and participation in decision making. If the organization treats its employees fairly and provides reasonable rewards and job security, employees are more likely to be satisfied and committed. Involving employees in decision making can also help to increase commitment. In particular, designing jobs which are interesting and stimulating can enhance job involvement. Understood here? Okay. Till here, is it clear, students?
Yes, ma'am, it's clear.
Fine. So are you understanding the things? These things needs a lot of understanding. Are you understanding, all of you, how things are working out? So this is at another, as I said, that organizational commitment and involvement. Another thing is, organizational attitudes, role, and its importance in organizational behavior. Attitude of both workers and management react to each other and determine mutual relationships. Attitude is an undertaking or learning of why employees feel and act the way they do and help survivors in winning cooperation from them. So it is very important for the efficient working of an organization. From a personal perspective, understood from a personal perspective, attitudes provide knowledge base or prepare our mental state for our interaction with others and with the world around us. This directly affects organizational behavior and turn organizational working. Clear? So till here, did you understand, all of you all? Students?
Yes, ma'am.
Great. I'll just look into the syllabus once. Just give me 1 minute, not even 1 minute, 30 seconds time. Which part am I missing? Attitude, factors influencing challenges and lessons from attitude, etiquettes, all done. Fine. So attitude unit 3, more or less, we are coming to an end. Fine. Wait. Fine. Fine. Okay. Lastly, but not the least, we will have we will be doing factors relating to job satisfaction. Very important part once again. This paper is very helpful for you. I mean, presently you have to score marks as the theory paper. So, but it has a lot of long run outcome in the long run. Very helpful paper. Factors related to job satisfaction. Now, what are the factors related to job satisfaction? Broadly, there are 3 factors relating to job satisfaction. They are personal factors, they are job factors, and organizational factors. These are the 3 factors relating to job satisfaction. Personal factors. These factors include the individual's employee's personality. This we are dealing with personal factors. These factors include the individual employee's personality, age, sex, education level, intelligence, etc. Most of the evidence on the relation between age and satisfaction seems to indicate that there is generally a positive relationship between the 2 variables up to the pre-retirement years, and then there's a sharp decrease in satisfaction. Clear? There is no clear research evidence between educational level and job satisfaction. As regards the relationship between intelligence level and job satisfaction, it usually depends upon the level and range of intelligence and the challenges of the job. Like, for example, throughout students, I had been teaching, I'm a student of English literature, and, I have done, my entire specialization had been in, obviously, I've done certain courses in linguistics as well, but my mainstream from a government college, that is from English honors, masters, MPhil, B.Ed, everything. So, and I was into a degree college, then I had to quit from there. I went to USA, Kentucky, Lexington in the year 2010, and when I came back, and I had to join BP Poddar. And again I sat for College Service Commission, and I clicked College Service Commission the second time, and I was posted to Baghati College. I don't know how many of you know, it's in memory. There's a college called Baghati College. Now, whether you have heard or not, a government aided college. But I have even done my journey from here, but from Newtown, staying in Unitech, Newtown, but it was next to impossible. And it is such a memory, such a remote place where I could not stay back and continue with it. So obviously, but still I had to manage. Teaching in BP Poddar is also a wonderful experience. Teaching the business English, the business part, the HR part. If you have the grasping power, if you have the merit within you, definitely you will succumb to each and every situations and circumstances. So whatever you're learning as an electronics engineer may not be put in use if you join an IT job. Am I correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Then you have to, remain, even if you are domain centric, if you remain in your core, if you join a public sector, BSNL, or just, for example, any telecommunication, public sector, any telecommunications, or you remain in a core product based company, still, whatever you are learning, you will not have much of its usage. Job will give you a different, a total different picture, where you will have to learn about what the job you are seeking is all about. So always things are not the thing, but it is your attitude that will help you to adopt novelties and new things. It is your attitude. You get my point? So you feel very sad, that yes, I'm not into my core. I'm not here, but it becomes difficult. But still, with a positive attitude, with motivation, you can adapt. You have to adapt things. You understand? Students, no response?
Yes.
Why no response? Only Shayanton. What about the other? Shayoni? Shayoni was very interactive in the class in first year. Shayoni, Shraddha, Shrija, Shomoshruta, girls, Srijita, where are y'all? Are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so are you listening? How, and are you finding these are the very practical things that you will have in your job application? Whenever you will be
Yes,
joining any kind of job, whether it's a hardcore core company or whatever, these will have a lot of reflection, and you will apply all these and then you'll remember me that ma'am has taught all these factors which are helping you to face the new job challenges. Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Fine. These are the factors. So these factors the first one was the personal factor. Second was the job factor. These factors include the type of job to be performed, skill required for work performance, occupational status involved in the job, etc. The type of work is very important, as a number of research studies have shown that varied work generally brings about more satisfaction than routine work. This is very true. If there is a variation from the mundane, from the routine job, M-U-N-D-A-N-E, mundane is the monotonous job, obviously the quality improves. Where skill exists to a considerable degree, it tends to become the main source of satisfaction of the employee. As regards the relation of occupational status to job satisfaction, research evidence indicate that employees are relatively more dissatisfied in certain jobs which have less social status or prestige. This is very true. Now, whenever there had been times of recession and BTech students were getting jobs and students of MCA getting jobs in BPOs, obviously a big, downward trend in the social status or prestige. That is very true. Third point, organizational factors. These factors include security, wages, salaries, fringe benefits, opportunities for advancements, working conditions. Now, what do you mean by the term fringe benefit? Fringe benefits are actually the other benefits apart from the mainstream benefits. Fringe benefits are actually the incentives that you get, the other rewards that you get, the incentives that you get. Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So this is all about fringe benefits. Understood? Fringe benefits is all about incentives. Fringe benefits is the special things that you do get. The benefits apart from the mainstream, that is the fringe benefit part. Understood? So this is all about. Now you say something. What you have? You say something, students. What you have understood? Students, please say. Where are you all, students?
Yes, ma'am, we are here.
You all say something. I have been speaking for the last 1 hour. I want you all to say something now. Speak out, speak out. Anything that you want to ask? Yes.
Can you share? Can you share with the
Yes, please say, Shantal. Shantal was saying.
can you share the notes with us?
The points I will definitely share. The certain books that I have referred to from the National Library. Thank God, the librarian had been so wonderful. I had been member for the last almost 25, 28 or 30 years, rather. You can say almost 25 years. And he has sent me certain PDF and PDF versions, and even he have also sent me the book. I mean, that was so good of him, Mr. Mukherjee. I mean, when I was in class 7, he was the one who enrolled my name, and he has now. It is difficult. I mean, now they are not allowing us. Also, I mean, we are getting once I went, but it becomes difficult. Central Kolkata is like very susceptible to. And very prone and susceptible to this COVID-19. Rather, staying in a campus in Newtown, we are in a state. Moreover, I have a very small daughter who is not even 3 years old. So there's a big risk factor. So the book that I got, yes, I'll definitely share with you. Don't worry. I'll definitely share. Actually, not one book. I had been referring to 4 books. So I will try to make the notes and I will hand it over to you. Okay?
Okay, ma'am.
And also definitely I will also share the a certain PDF, the certain parts of the book also I'm going to share, which will help you help you to get a good idea, a clear conception about what I have taught today. I'll tell you, I'll tell you everything. So I'll try to send that today in the WhatsApp group that has been created. Okay?
Yes, ma'am. Sure.
Yeah, it's better I send it in the WhatsApp group only.
Okay, ma'am.
Yes. So anything that you want to ask students, anything from your part? So the attitude, the unit 3 in the syllabus is more or less over, done. We are done with unit 3, over. Next day, unit 4. Have you all do you have an idea, are you having the syllabus in front of you?
Let me open them.
You're not having the syllabus?
Yes, ma'am. This time.
You having the syllabus?
Yes.
So unit 4, unit 4. What do we have in unit 4? What is unit 4 about? What is there in unit 4? Unit 4, I'll have to find out.
Ma'am, unit 4 is motivation, factors of motivation, self-talk, intrinsic and extrinsic motivators.
Intrinsic and extrinsic motivation, that part entirely I will take that and I'm going to begin in the next class. Today I think it is no use beginning with motivation. So I think today till here it is done. I'll give you today something. It will be better that today in the WhatsApp group I'll give you the notes and all. So by today you will be getting all the materials for what we have covered on the this attitude part, personality and attitude. Clear?
Okay, ma'am. Sure.
Yes, we will cover one unit and I'll give you the respective notes and everything on that. Yeah, I will share the book, don't worry, I will share. It's a very good book, and you will definitely have a good idea. And I think you have also the YouTube lectures which I have delivered, because it was a lecture which has been prepared by me. Yesterday till 2 o'clock, I was preparing the lecture, compiling it from the 4 books that I have got. So I hope this lecture will definitely also cater to your needs. Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Apart from that, the notes I will give you, and I'll also share a certain part of the books which will help you. So you don't have to worry for this. This paper is completely my responsibility, and I will give you adequate material so that you will not face any difficulty.
Ma'am,
Anything you want to ask? Any query?
ma'am,
Yes.
in module 3,
Hey, your voice is breaking. Hello?
hello, ma'am.
Your voice is breaking. Who was that?
Sayanto, I think, ma'am.
Okay, speak out, speak out. What you want to ask me, please speak. কি জিজ্ঞাসা করতে চাইছিল ওটা জিজ্ঞাসা করো।
ম্যাম শোনা যাচ্ছে?
হ্যাঁ, now I can hear you. It's clear.
ম্যাম ওই মডিউল 3 এর লাস্ট পার্ট etiquette,
that one.
Etiquette.
হ্যাঁ
Etiquette part is etiquette is courtesy. Etiquette part is left. I will do. I think today.
No, portion you have means explained today. We have to be courteous and all the courtesy points and all.
Yes, that is what etiquette is all about.
okay, ma'am.
I have compiled the thing and I've done. There's nothing to do it separately. আমি ওটাকে কম্পাইল করে এটিকেটটাকে পড়িয়ে দিয়েছি।
Yes, ma'am. Yeah.
Okay, ma'am.
মানে আলাদা করে মানে Separately, you don't have to do anything on etiquette. Etiquette was all about the courtesy part that I've done. The So, are you listening, students?
Ma'am, your mic was off, I think. Or you just went away, I think.
Yes, I said a lot of things. Yes, 1 minute, 1 minute more.
Ma'am, your mic was off for last 3-4 minutes.
Yes. Sorry. Etiquette means, oh God, I said such a lot of things. Etiquette means, and unfortunately the mic was off. Etiquette means a lot. Now you can hear all of you. Now you can hear. Etiquette was all about being very respectful. Etiquette is all about being generous. Etiquette is all about being, positive, motivational, maintaining a true spirit. Understood? Maintaining sublimity in character, how you treat with the others in the positive light. And etiquettes are not only confined, etiquette is such an attitude, a characteristic feature of an attitude which should not always remain confined to only your professional field. Etiquettes are to be followed right from your childhood in workplace, in non-professional places, at homes, in schools, colleges, everywhere, even anywhere and elsewhere. Etiquettes are to be maintained. So the 5 part, you remember the things that I told you regarding etiquettes: respectfulness, understood? The self-esteem, self-efficacy, those things, self-concepts, all these things come under etiquette part. That is agreeableness, understood, emotional stability, openness to experience, extroversion, that is being very sociable, talkative, assertive. All are the etiquette, the traits of being etiquette. You have to be very sociable. You have to be talkative. You have to be assertive. You have to be good-natured. You have to be cooperative. You have to be trustworthy. You have to be very responsible, dependable, persistent, and achievement-oriented. Understood? So all these comes under etiquette part. Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
I mean, I said so. I was, I was
Yes, ma'am.
wondering what is wrong.
The last speech went in vain.
Huh?
And the speech went in vain.
Absolutely, the speech went in vain. Yeah, but was it being recorded?
No, ma'am. I think Rupam has recorded, so it's available, I think.
That's good. Rupam is really doing a marvelous job. There's also a good reward for Rupam. We have to
Yes, ma'am. He is the Marvel hero.
Now enough of bullying Rupam. Whenever y'all get chance, y'all start bullying each other. There's something
Yes, ma'am.
very-
Because we can't go to the college now, so we are missing the opportunity.
Absolutely.
We should have a round of applause
So
for
you
Rupam.
are fulfilling the opportunity in the Google Meet
Yes, ma'am. Through digital platform, whatever we can.
and a digital platform. So this is the best way you are utilizing digital platform.
Ma'am, we should have a round of applause for Rupam.
That absolutely. So was this a round of applause?
No.
Yes. Enough.
Everyone, please turn on the mic and clap for him.
Should we switch on the videos also?
Yes, ma'am, if possible.
Hey, by the way, do you all understand the etiquette part?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am,
So,
means
so I think
we will understand it further from your notes. Actually, what you have said, we couldn't hear. Your mic was off.
That was for how much? That was maybe for 5 minutes, not more than that.
Then, ma'am, it's okay, it's fine. Because already I've discussed earlier.
Yes.
The etiquette
So,
portion.
yes.
The courtesy
today's-
one and the being courteous and all.
Huh?
Ma'am, you have discussed the point, how to means be courteous, that point.
Yes. So what I think the unit 3 is more or less over.
Yes, ma'am, unit 3 is over.
So next day, in our next class, we will be beginning with the
Motivation.
motivational factors. That is unit 4. And we will be very much, first we will complete with the syllabus. we will be very systematic, and then gradually in between I'll be supplying you with the notes and everything. Don't worry for that. I'll give you all the notes, I'll give you the points and everything. The hard copies also I'll be giving. Hard copies means I'll give you the hard copies over WhatsApp group and all that. Don't worry. And you're having my lectures also being recorded, and Shomo is really doing a good job, and I'm sure Shomo is going to share with every one of you all. So I think it's more than enough. We won't face any difficulty for this paper, because it is a 100 marks paper, and your your fifth semester is going to begin with this HU paper. So I want all of you all to score more than 80% in this paper. Please do not put me down. So I had been teaching you right from first year. So please keep up to the level of my expectations. Don't put me down at all, dear students of ECEB third year. Is that clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Because yesterday I was, I just hunted for 4 books to prepare the lectures. So please follow the lectures. Everything is there in the lecture. If you can follow the college lectures properly for the theory classes, I'm sure you will definitely succeed. You won't face any difficulty, and as well as side by, you'll be having the notes also in hand. Yeah. So I think today's class was pretty effective and interactive as well. I could hear you people also, and there was no net issue also. For the last few days, we are not facing any net issue problem.
Yes, ma'am, it's clear.
Yes, it was clear. Even only the first day's class, first day there was a little bit net issue, but from last week onwards, we are not facing any net issue. Okay then, let's call it a day, students. Okay?
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you.
ma'am.
Thank you, all of you. Stay safe, stay well. Yes, all of you. And again,